Hey, we got another fake Fender here to take a look at, and let's just jump right into it. So we've got this message from Manuel, who messaged me this week and said, hey, I saw your videos on YouTube. Great videos, very informative, blah, blah, blah. Got a Fender for second hand. Would you like to take a look at it? Sure. Not sure if it's legit or not. It plays not right. I think English isn't his first language, which is totally fine. I said, sure, send me some pics and I'll take a look at it. And he said, thank you. So he sent me these pics here, and we'll just kind of scroll through here and then I'll open them up a little bit more of a higher definition pics here that we'll be able to look at. So this is these are all the pics. Let me just kind of start from the beginning, and we'll just go through here and take a look-see. So there's the headstock. Even he took some great pictures. By the way, if you're ever sending me something, pictures is the key to being able to identify stuff. And make sure you get the whole guitar too. Sometimes people send me just parts of the guitar. Even this one, I didn't get the whole neck. But anyway, right off the bat, let me just scroll through them and then we'll look at it. Give you guys an opportunity just to roughly look at this, and then I'll give you my my details here. All right. And this video is going to be kind of interesting because there's some things that I've pointed out in the past, but I'm going to point out a few littler details here. There's some glaring ones in this, but some littler details. Littler is probably not the right word. Anyway, some smaller details that you might want to look at when you're trying to determine if something is a fake or not. All right. First off, the headstock. Let me just go to a better picture of the headstock. This actually, the logo on here, they did a really good job faking this. Well, not, I would say a really good job. They did a decent job for a fake. It is not quite straight on here. You can see Made in USA is kind of not along that line. Anyway, but the logo itself actually does look pretty good. So they did a decent job with that. With the logo. It does have two-string trees, which is not always the case, but sometimes means that it is not real, because just simply because there's so many Squires that have two-string trees, and usually American-made Fenders don't have string trees. Okay, you can see here that the truss rod hole does not have walnut surround. It has to have a walnut surround for like 99.9% of Fenders to the Americans have a walnut surround. So I know it's not for sure, and this is leading to me believe this is a Squire that's been faked. Again, better shot of the headstock there. Like right here, this logo at first glance looks pretty good. Now that I look at it from this angle, though, I can tell that that's not quite right there. Okay, and some more pictures. Now let's look into the bridge. The bridge saddles look like import saddles like you'd find on a Squire. We're going to come back to these pickups here when we get to a better picture. They do say Noiseless on here, which would make you believe that it is a Fender. It's got this also just isn't quite right here. This should be more like right here, but regardless. Okay, these pickups here, Noiseless. You might look at this and go like, oh, well, they have noiseless pickups. There you go. There you have it. I know it's the real thing. Let me just show you a couple pictures here. This is a Fender's noiseless pickup. So let's kind of pick a similar. Let's make that bigger, and that is what they look like. Looks very similar to what we have here in our fake pictures here, but let me just show you this one here too. This is AliExpress for $37 with shipping. You can get yourself some fake noiseless pickups. Notice how here this even just notice this is noiseless here, but if you look at the pictures on the what he sent, I think there's actually, well, I guess maybe that S rubbed off, but or they're misspelled Noiseless. Anyway, those are fake. They're not legitimate noiseless pickups. So that's one thing that I wanted to kind of mention in this video is a lot of times there's little details like that, and you might think, oh well, it says Fender or it says Noiseless on there like Fender's does on their noiseless pickups. but they fake everything these days. Everything can be faked. So I just found that out in a quick Google search. I wasn't even sure that they had them, and then I literally just Googled Noiseless on the pickup, and AliExpress popped up. The backplate here, hard to tell from this angle, but on an American Stratocaster, these are offset. They're not on the same spot. Like this one would be up here, the screw. And anyway, that's just a little detail to look at. This picture doesn't really show it very well, so I'm not going to harp on it much. It does have what appears to be Fender tuners, but they're not. It doesn't look quite right. Like these I think are fake Fender tuners. And if you look at just the orientation of this, they all look crooked. Like they look like they're not. I mean, is this just me, or these just all look crooked? So you're not going to see that on an American-made Fender. They're going to be lined up properly. And then just a better shot here on the side. You can see the saddles, everything here. But up at the top of this picture, you can see these two dots are very far apart. Fenders would be a little bit closer, especially looking at this year of what this is supposed to be. Another picture of the Noiseless. Yeah, there we go. It says Noiseless down here with the two S's. And on the backplate here, there's another detail too. You might look at it and go, oh, it's a Fender backplate. This is the kind of, it's like it's been etched out or dremeled out. I don't know exactly what process they do it, but a real Fender one, it doesn't look as much cut out as it does look stamped. That's a hard detail to really show, but other than that, I don't know. It could be a good playing guitar, but it is not a Fender. Looking at the serial number here, I typed this into our good old friends, the Guitar Data Project, and this is what it comes up with. So it says here 2001, 2002 is when that was made. So that actually is a real serial number, which goes to show that you can't just trust a serial number. You have to compare that with something. So if you have a fake guitar that it comes back with the serial number, you're like, okay, well, it said it's real. Not necessarily the case. So compared to what it is compared to. So I went to Reverb here and typed in 2001 Fender Stratocaster, and this was a guitar I thought looked similar to the one we were looking at. So I thought I'd take a look at some of these pictures here. So if we just scroll through these pictures, we can see all the differences here. Right here, the dots, they're not wide apart. Let's go as we get closer. It's got a walnut truss rod right here. It's got one string tree. The logo looks similar, but you can even tell how made in the USA. It's smaller. This is a little bit more of a nicer logo. When you A/B compare something, you can really start to tell the original contour body is in a better position. Let's keep going. The tuners on the back are different tuners, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you can see they are in a line and they are lined up correctly. And the serial number, two things. Notice that the serial number is up here and not down here. So that's one thing. And the difference in the fonts was a lot. Let me just find the old picture. It was not very good. It was, you can see on the font, it's like blurry right there. And on the real Fender one, it's nice and sharp. All right, back of the neck. And looking at the saddles here, two things. This is a 2-point tremolo system instead of a 6-point like the other one had. And these saddles are block saddles that are nice block saddles, not like the imports. And these are different pickups. These aren't noiseless pickups, but so you can't really tell anything from that. And then on the neck plate, or the back of the plate back here over the tremolo system, you can see that these are offset like that. The screws are. And let me see if there's anything else. Oh, and the other one didn't come with a nice hard shell case like this. I'm just kidding. So those are just some things to kind of look at. The more details you look at, and the more that you compare with the actual thing, you can really tell what something is or what it isn't. So I texted him back and said, "Hey man, I'm really sorry to hear to let you know that it's not a genuine USA Fender. And I asked how much he paid for it, and he said 6,300 PHP. And I was like, oh man, I hope that's not $6,300. I have no idea how much that is. And so he said that in Philippine dollars, that's $129. So not that bad. Not that bad. You didn't get ripped off in the sense of that you paid a lot of money for something that wasn't real. So you probably suspected it not being real, being $130 US. So and you know, I know a lot of other countries too, it's harder to get equipment too. So if you find a guitar like that that's $130, that might be the going price for a Squier. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you like this video. If you got any other guitars, just about every week somebody sends me a guitar asking if it's real or not, and I really enjoy making these videos, so hopefully they're helpful to the guitar community in spotting these fakes that run rampant in the used market. Kennis Russell out. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to this channel. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/KennisRussell. Thank you so much. I'll see you in another video.